Welcome back to the Unmasked Parent podcast. I'm Kimberly Cox from the Neurocircus, and we are going to get started today on what is going to be the beginning of a very, very beautiful podcast. So I have my sidekick with me. We'll see how long she stays here with me, but let's get into this. So today's topic, I'm speaking to all of us who've ever thought, I want summer to feel good, but I'm already exhausted before it begins. If that is you, this is for you, okay? So we want to start out talking about why summer feels so hard, okay? So for many of us as unmasked adults, summer throws us off of our rhythms too. Okay, so if you think about it, we have rhythms with the kids being in school. Even if you homeschool, you probably have some sort of rhythm to how you're doing it. Summer tends to throw us off. So we're talking disrupted routines, sensory overload because there's too much of certain things like screen time or too much being outside, too much heat, all that kind of stuff. And then as adults, that's the stuff that throws the kids off too, right? Then as adults, there's so much pressure on us to make our kids' summer magical, right? So we want to make sure that they're getting all of the fun stuff and especially when you have kids that have sensory issues and things like that, it's hard because you want to do all these things that you see all the other parents doing. And it's difficult to kind of have your expectations in a certain place and still do the things. And it's a lot. So on top of this, I think a lot of us long for the day when we could have a summer that we enjoyed as well, right? Because we're trying to do all the things for all the people, plus still do our normal stuff. Dishes still have to be done, laundry still has to be done. So you are allowed to design the summer for you too. This is not just about your kids. So we are going to talk about anchoring your family's summer in your needs. And I know that might sound a little bit selfish at first. And I think a lot of times we immediately go to, we have to do all the things for our family. That's just the way life is. That's what we did. When we became parents, we gave up the right to have what we want until our kids are, grown up. And that's just not true. That's just not true. You still have the right to have your needs met. And honestly, and this is something that I continue to tell people over and over and over again, when your needs are not being met, your kids see that. They see that you're giving up. And that means that they are going to feel like they have to give up when they become parents. And this is how this cycle perpetuates itself. So we're talking about having a quiet morning window, time for creative flow for you, and weekly reset space. You don't need to entertain your kids. You need to empower your family to co-create rhythm. Okay. A lot of our kids are either they're usually on one end of the spectrum or the other. They usually either want full spontaneousness all day, every day, or they want everything planned out to a T. And so this is where we're going to help them to learn how to do this, okay? And it takes time. And if you have super little ones, then this is going to be a little bit more difficult. You might have to work a little bit with them. But for anybody who's in that space where you have super little ones and you're still trying to figure out all the stuff, drop me a comment, let me know, let's talk, and let's work through some ways that we can slowly start to give them a little bit more choice. So we're going to talk, we're talking about planning ahead, but planning ahead lightly. Okay, so this is not the every minute is planned to a T, because we all know that life happens. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are the type that needs everything planned out to the minute, or if you are the type that needs super spontaneousness in order to, get that dopamine. Life happens, life throws us curveballs, and when we have things planned and then it doesn't go the way it's supposed to, that can cause a whole lot of problems too. So we are talking about having family weekly check-ins where we ask, what do we want more of? And what do we need less of? Because to be honest with you, A lot of times we think our family wants, well, we need to go to 15 different places to, no, you don't. Most of the time your family wants, to go do certain things, sure, but not everything. And so you have that moment where you can pick and choose what feels aligned, what is good, what feels like it's going to be doable for you. And then we use weekly themes to inspire, not restrict. So when you're in the planning stage, think about the things that your family enjoys, right? So maybe that's, maybe you guys enjoy playing board games together. Maybe you guys enjoy playing computer games, or like video games together. If that's something, then work those kinds of things in. There's absolutely nothing wrong with spending time doing something you enjoy, even if it feels a little off, right? I've been making an effort, and will continue throughout the summer to make an effort to play Roblox with my girls. And, this summer that feels like, oh, you should be outside, you should be doing stuff. We're going to do it during the hottest parts of the day where you really don't want to be out. You're going to get burnt if you're out too long. And that gives us time, in the morning to do stuff, to go places, whatever. And in the, late afternoon and evening to go to the pool. That's generally when I feel the best going there, because I've had all day to actually get my stuff done. So I feel like at that point I'm productive. I can kind of let go and go, okay, we're going to go to the pool. We're going to enjoy the rest of the evening. But you have to work with what works for your family. So this brings us to the big thing that we are launching. It's going to start next week, actually, with our planning session. That is the Instant Summer Camp. So Instant Summer Camp is going to be a space where we are going to have weekly themes and activities that you can do throughout the week. Okay, I have it's going to be 6 weeks. Okay. So we have 3 weeks that we're doing it in June. We're skipping the week of the 4th of July. And then we're moving to July, and we'll have 3 weeks in July. Let me get my notebook out here so I can get the themes going here. So we are doing nature for the first week, and then the second week is going to be a prehistoric week. The third week, which is the week before the 4th of July, before Independence Day, we're going to do a patriotic theme. I am specifying that if you are not in the States, we will try to figure out another way to incorporate some of the stuff in for you. And you can definitely do your own country stuff if you want during that time. For us, Independence Day is a huge holiday. And I think it's a holiday that can either make or break like a lot of families, because there's usually get-togethers, there's usually family gatherings, there's like barbecues, there's fireworks, which can be a huge sensory, problem. And it can feel like our families are missing out on so much because there's so many things that are just so difficult for our family. So one of the things that we are going to work on that week before 4th of July is finding recipes that we can bring to cookouts, or that we can make for our own cookout, that our kids are going to love, that still helps, bring in that patriotic theme, right? And we're going to do, our crafts are going to be like decoration stuff. So, we can feel like the kids can feel like they're contributing to it. We're going to do like sensory play and stuff, all that stuff that you can actually bring with you to a cookout, bring with you, so that you know that your kids have some stuff that they're going to enjoy. And, when we share that with other people, so people who might not be neurodivergent, might be neurotypical, or might be in denial of the fact that they're neurodivergent, we share what works for us. It helps our family, like the family, to kind of get on board because they see that there are things that do work. It also helps, you can go and you can enjoy that time, at least for a little bit. So that's the patriotic theme that we're going to do. When we come back after 4th of July, it's going to be Shark Week. So we're going to do oceans, just in case you're not a shark lover. We're going to do stuff about the ocean. And then games is the next week. And the last week is going to be like a carnival style style, fun, fun games and different things like that. I have five different like themes or areas that we're going to be working on, and some of those have like little parts, sub things, right? So like food, we're talking either themed lunches or snacks, and you can do both, or you can do, this is what I love about this, is it's literally like components that you can filter in your day, that at any given time you can pull one of these out of your hat and go, okay, like we need something because everybody's in a bad mood, so let's go make a beach snack, or something like that. So we have food, crafts, games, which the games in that sense are more like I Spy kind of things, stuff where you're sitting kind of, in one spot. And then we have sensory play, and then we have physical activity. And these are hitting a lot of the major points that also help to, like regulate nervous systems and things. So when we hit those, and then we hit the sleep on the right schedules and stuff, you're gonna find that your kids are gonna adapt way better to the summer, to the schedule, to the different things. So there is our weekly and how that's gonna work out. I will go into, during the planning week, a little bit more of how I'm going to be setting stuff up. Because I have so much going on, I'm not going to hit all 5 every day. We have certain days we're going to pick certain things. I'm going to do snacks for a lot of the foods, like Monday through Thursday, and then Friday we're going to do a themed lunch, which my daughter's going to help with. We're going to do a lot of that stuff in that way. So we also have, coming up on Friday the 23rd, we're going to drop our new moon Moonlight Magic minis. So those are rituals that you can do with your family that just help to kind of bring in some family bonding. They bring in nature, there's sensory components to them, and it just kind of gives everybody that like ability to kind of, we do them twice a month. So full moon and new moon. New moons are definitely for intention setting. And this new moon is going to be huge because we are all setting intentions around having the most magical summer that we can within our scope of things, right? So not overly committing, not overly doing it, but yet making those, sometimes I think we get into this like depressive state. Well, I can't do all this stuff, so might as well not do anything. And then we miss all the little magic moments that we could have. And it's hard, okay? Let me just tell you, it is hard. As a parent of a neurodivergent kids who is also neurodivergent, everybody's needs, everybody's levels, everybody's like, we're just all over the place. And so it takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of, trial and error and a lot of really working. And sometimes it can feel lonely. And that's one of the things that I love about the instant summer camp is it's a community, okay? One of the things I love is we are going to be offering spaces for you to post videos and pictures. Your kids are going to get to meet these other kids within this thing. They're going to make friends. It's going to be like summer camp, only the beautiful thing is you don't have to either take them every day, or you don't have to take them and drop them off and then worry, are they going to be okay all week? Summer camps can be hard for our kids, right? Sleepaway camps, or, even going during the day for a certain amount of time. A lot of camps pack a lot of activities into one day. And that can be really hard for kids who have problems with transitioning and stuff. So we have our planning week coming up. We're going to go the day after Memorial Day. So Tuesday, May 27th through the 30th. It's going to be 4 days of tons of ideas and like just all kinds of different ways that we can make this summer work amazingly. Okay, so I promise you, if you join the membership, you're going to get in there, you're going to get your Moonlight Magic minis for free every month. That just comes as part of my instant summer camp, okay? And then you're going to get all of these ideas, all of this support. You're going to get a community that you can like plug yourself into, plug your kids into. and we're just gonna have a lot of fun this summer, okay? So this summer isn't about doing more, it's about doing less with more love, more intention, and more alignment. You get to be held to, and if no one's doing that for you, this space inside Instant Summer Camp is gonna do that. So I am, again, so excited that you are watching this, so excited to be bringing this to you. I want to thank you if you made it this far. If you made it this far, can you drop me a palm tree? Because let's start doing the summer stuff, right? Drop me a palm tree in the comments. Let me know what one of the things you are looking forward to this summer is. I know for us, it's definitely the pool, and my kids have already told me the same thing, which is like every day we're going to attempt to go down there as long as it's open. It is a big deal. It is a big deal for us. So I am so grateful that you are here. Thank you so much for being here on the Unmasked Parent podcast. One of these days I will get the two of these, straight. You guys have a wonderful week. We'll be back pushing these out really close together. I will be back on Friday for your next episode. Bye.